say something that was proven by Olbermann to be not true. Olbermann took out his checkbook, wrote a $100 check, and sent it away. Okay? It was really very comical. All right? But look, I have to admit, until the last few years, I never watched Fox at all. But, and I hate to use this metaphor and this comparison, but Michelle Bachmann, when they questioned her about working for the IRS when she first got her law degree, she said, well, I have to know how the enemy works. So I watch Fox News just to see what kind of slant they would put on the news.
Yeah, but you're watching Chris Wallace, who doesn't put slants on.
I like Chris Wallace.
But he doesn't
I like
slant.
his father.
He doesn't slant the news.
I don't like you.
Thank you. That's okay. I still love you. But he doesn't slant. Chris Wallace does not slant the news at all.
No. In fact, I have to say, Chris Wallace did a good job on Kellyanne Conway this Sunday, because they happened to ask her, with John Kelly coming in as chief of staff. The unwritten rule generally is when somebody wants to see the president, they go through the chief of staff. And Chris Wallace wanted to know, will that go for Steve Bannon? Will it go for Kellyanne Conway? Will it go for Ivanka and Jared Kushner? And from what I heard today, Ivanka said she has no trouble going to John Kelly and asking him if she could go see her father about something. Okay? Kushner, I don't know. Bannon, well, if he wants to stay in the White House, I guess he'll have to. Kellyanne Conway, you know what she's going to do.
She's going to walk in.
No, she won't. She won't walk in.
No? She'll listen?
Because Trump will not question Bannon if he walks in, because Bannon will throw it right back in his face and tell him to go screw himself. Kellyanne, don't forget, he's a male chauvinist, and he'll just pull rank on Kellyanne and say, I didn't know you were coming in here. Did you check with General Kelly first? Okay. So I think, look, as one of the news people said this weekend, the staff of the White House is like the Titanic. It's a sinking ship. Can Kelly come in and turn it around and maybe keep it afloat? That's the only thing he can do. I heard before I came here, Kelly knew Comey, okay? Not well, but they worked together and they respected each other because they both had this code. Kelly being a 45-year veteran of the Marine Corps, and Comey being with the Bureau basically his whole life. When he saw how Comey was fired via a letter, a text that was delivered by Trump's old bodyguard, without even doing it face-to-face, Kelly asked Comey if he should tender his resignation, and Comey told him not to do it. That's how upset he was. There are rules for everything, and you don't rise to be a 4-star general in the Marines after 45 years without following military rules and laws. That's the only thing I'm saying. And that's how he lived his life. He's a Gold Star father. He lost a son in Iraq when he was 29. He has another son that's going to be deployed overseas. So this guy knows what he's talking about. And speaking of which, it was very nice to see the award of the Medal of Honor today, I have to say. But this poor Spec 5 waited nearly 50 years to get his recognition. Why on earth did it take 50 years Weren't there enough letters and people writing all this time? What? I don't hear anything.
You don't hear anything?
No.
Really?
United States Air Force.
Oh, you're playing the Armed Forces theme song. There we go. The Air Force. Used to be the Army Air Corps.
I did it the whole time you're talking about the Army.
I didn't hear anything.
I know. It was funny.
My father-in-law was in the Army Air Corps. He was a major. He was a pilot.
United States Navy.
Yay!
Way, my boy, anchors away.
We sail at break of day. Is wishing you a happy voyage home. We have somebody online?
United States Marines.
Oh, Ira. Hello, Ira. Was that you? Did you belch? I'm joking. Thank you for listening, Ira. No dancing tonight, huh? I can't read it. What does it say?
Hey there. Hey there, Ira. How you
United
doing today?
States Army.
This one's for you, Ira. Ira was a sergeant. Did you know that?
So was I. It's Monday. Yes, we are now on Mondays. No more Fridays.
The army's on its way. Where you go, you always.
"42nd Rainbow Division." That was the National Guards, wasn't it?
Yeah,
That's the ones I was in.
that was
Same
mine
one.
too. 42nd Rainbow.
Yeah, I was in the Blue Silk Regiment, in Manhattan on Park Avenue.
Ira was in Brooklyn. So was I, but we were in different divisions of the Rainbow.
Yeah, and I was a sergeant too, a motor sergeant.
That's what Ira was.
A motor sergeant?
I believe so.
Yeah. All right. The 3 draft dodgers.
Hey, look,
Don't be patriotic. That's the truth.
we did our bit. Hey, listen, when I
we
went
served
down,
our country.
well, when I went down there, they wanted me to go to officers candidate school. I did so well on the test. I said, listen, this was 1971, and officially Vietnam didn't end until about 73. All right,
Yeah.
so I said, are you still sending guys over there? Because I knew second lieutenants were a dime a dozen.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
I was an E5 also, Ira. What a joke. You were a sergeant, I was the motor sergeant. And I had all the derelicts,
But you know-
all the rejects as my
You know
drivers.
what Ira's claim to fame is?
No?
Ira made sure that the mail was delivered. Remember, Ira? Ira was guarding the post office during that postal strike.
I got out in 77, Ira. They offered me E6 to stay. I kindly refused it.
I know when I got my medical discharge, the company clerk said, you're really going to miss this place. I said, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh.
There were so many cops and firemen in my division. Everybody.
Mine was mostly doctors, and the Blue Silk was mostly doctors and lawyers.
Oh, you were in a smart unit.
Yeah, this was on Park Avenue.
So,
Park Avenue, 65th Street.
Then how come they weren't part of the JAG unit? Oh, they didn't want to go regular Army.
Of course not.
But the thing is, with a lawyer especially, the lawyers didn't see
it didn't matter.
action.
They didn't want to. These guys were all long-haired guys that would roll up their hair, put the wigs on.
Well, I got to tell you, when I was at Fort Jackson, what was that?
Yeah, he was offered another stripe to re-up, and so was I.
That's usually what they do. They offer to make...
Actually, they offered me another stripe about 6 months before it was time to re-up, and they said they'd consider offering me another one when I re-up.
If you go regular Army...
Silly.
If you go regular Army and you're an officer, let's say after your 4 years or whatever, you're a captain, they offer you a promotion to major.
Oh, you had the good armory in Bed-Stuy. Mine
wasn't far from there.
I told you, mine was a Park Avenue, 65th Street. They have a expensive restaurant in it. They have all the art shows there.
The doctor who examined me when I was at Fort Jackson, when he told me that he was going to recommend that I be medically discharged, 4F, okay, he had a peace ring on. He said, hey, listen, he says, I'm not gung-ho. He said, I graduated medical school, and I knew I had to do my 2 years, so I enlisted. I'm stateside, and that's all I care about,
Yeah. Listen, it was a hated war, Vietnam.
To this day, the only thing that I'm glad people realized, and unfortunately it was after too much time, is that you shouldn't hold the soldiers responsible for the mistakes of the government. Because they were drafted or they enlisted and they went and did what they were asked to do, you don't call them baby killers and spit in their face.
No, they were...
And I think when it came to Iraq and Afghanistan now, people finally realize that the soldiers, since it's a volunteer army, all right, they're just doing what the government asked them to do when they enlisted.
Yeah, okay? It's true.
Because there were too many soldiers who didn't want to go to Vietnam, but you're in the army and you follow orders.
That's true. Listen, we were the guys that were very lucky and got into the National Guards. A lot of people tried, couldn't get in.
Especially the years that Ira and I were trying to get in.
Yeah.
I graduated Brooklyn College in 71, but I enlisted in the National Guard in January of 71.
I enlisted in July of 71.
Okay. And
that was towards the tail.
I used to go to meetings while I was still in college, at night and on weekends.
Yeah, I think I was in meetings
it was 70. Because I got married first in 71, but I had already been in the National Guard for a year or a year and a half. It might have even been 69 when I went in. Uh-huh. And in those days, it was very hard to find a spot. A guy I knew from Brooklyn College had to go all the way to New Jersey.
No, it was. It's still hard. Even when I went in, which was later, it was still hard to get a spot.
But I think I hold a record.
Only 5 years, Ira, not 6?
Because of the postal strike. They got a year off.
Oh. Okay.
I remember... oh, damn, I forgot. Senior moment, ladies and gentlemen. It's been happening way too often. Oh, well. As my mother would say, it couldn't have been that important. And by the way, yesterday would have been my father's 95th birthday.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I assume they celebrate it. I'll have to go to the cemetery this week and